do you create a basketball community from scratch?
Okay, when you're building something like this, the ideal is to be able to walk away.
You need to come up with mechanisms to keep the kids coming back week after week.
How do you hook them? Like, how do you get them to want it so badly? If she's thinking building it in the community, you want it to be, well, this community is a basketball community. Welcome to Coaching Youth Hoops. Coach.
What are you wearing today? What is that?
I have my
other side there.
My very expensive right here.
Your very expensive t-shirt.
My Middlebury polo shirt for people that are watching on YouTube. Yeah. Probably was a $70 polo, but it cost me
40,000, 50,000,
a lot more than that after 4 years. He's graduating.
What am I saying? $40,000 a year, probably.
I'm making my last payment in like 2 weeks, so
nice.
Yeah, that'll be nice. One down.
I am as well, and starting a new one.
I know.
Well, you still have one, and you still have one at school. So
I still have one.
We have a lot of ups and downs this week or this month of I'm in, I'm not in.
Man, I know. I hate that.
Waitlisted here, declined over here. Yeah, so
you know what? But for this generation, it's stressful, and I'm not sure it's 100% healthy, but I think you learn a lot.
You learn a lot.
Like my son wanted to go to Colby so bad. Middlebury's a better school in my opinion, but it was a basketball related thing, and he didn't get in. Got waitlisted, but then he got into Middlebury. It's like the disappointment's good. Sometimes things don't work out the way you want it to work out, but trust me, if I asked him today, he said it worked out.
Yeah, exactly.
He's got great friends. It was the right spot at the right time, and anyway, so things work out. Adversity.
Well, and her thing is like, I work so hard, and why am I not getting into these schools? And I haven't did all of this other activities, and
what you want to say is
there's
55,000 other ones just like you. And it's a business. That's the problem, is people don't understand the collegiate education system.
You can tell her that message, by the way. I'll make sure.
It's a huge business. Well, here I'll tell you. So this is totally off topic, but it has to do with coaching. So we were in Palo Alto, went to Stanford, went on a tour.
Mm-hmm.
Tour guide. I asked the tour guide, "What was your application about?" And he was a storm chaser in high school. That was what his application was about. Anyway, his essay in the application. But then we went to the admissions office, and the admissions officer said, "Just so you know, we have a football field full of 36s and 4.0s that apply every year."
Yeah, right.
Like a football field. Like imagine people standing on a football field. That's how many 4.0s and 36s. And they go, "We can't let them all in, because we want some not 36s. We want some 32s, and we want some it's like your jaw drops, and it's like, oh, all right, guess you're not going here, bud."
He did too well, right? He's a 36 and a 4.0.
Yeah, you can't do that. All right, so let's talk about our sponsors first before we jump in. Now that
big shout out to Game Changer. Go to gc.com/coaching youth hoops, a free stats app for coaches, parents. Just a couple clicks, easy to use. You got stats post game, you got stats real time, and you also will have film room. So check it out at gc.com/coaching youth hoops.
Awesome. And what else, Coach? We got one other thing.
Yeah, and head on over to our new podcast, Youth Sports Insider, where we take a deep dive into the business of youth sports. We go behind the scenes, talk to some experts that are positively changing the youth sports landscape. So check it out, youthsportsinsider.com. Great if you're any kind of operator, you're going to pick up some tips. If you're a tournament operator, a club operator, even if you have your own team, you're going to learn a lot. youthsportsinsider.com.
All right. So today we're talking about Creating a basketball community. What do you mean by that, coach? That's a
Yeah,
wide open question.
yeah, this came from one of our listeners. She is in a small community in the Midwest. They they have they don't have a huge pool of basketball players, and she wants to create one. And really starting from scratch in her community. They have a rec league, but not too many people play basketball, and she wants to change that. And we talked about an hour of basically how do you do that? How do you create a basketball community from scratch?
Okay, I'm intrigued. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued because I
So
know what I
what did
think,
I
but I'm
tell her?
intrigued. Yeah, tell her
Yeah.
what you
What did I
tell
tell her?
the audience what you told her, and then
Yeah.
I'll jump in.
First, I asked her why, because it's going to be it could be a long road, right? Where you get one or two, three, 10 kids showing up, you put all this time in it, and you don't get the response that you're hoping. So your why better be very strong, right? So um, that's one thing. I said, make
And
sure you have a
what was
solid
her
why.
response to why?
She basically she just said she loves basketball, loves the sport, and wants to see it grow in her community. And I'm like, okay, great, yeah, whatever
Noble.
drives
That's
you,
a
right?
noble
Yeah,
thing. Yeah,
noble.
yeah,
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 exactly. That's what
yeah.
I was saying, and to her. And then I asked her, the questions of, who, right? Who do you want to show up? Boys, girls, both age groups, right? So we got down into the details of that. Are there any existing organizations you can work with or potentially work with, different sports that you could partner with to get kids there? Asked her how she was going to market it, right? We went through some marketing ideas, kept it really simple. Um, and then we broke down, well, what is it? She wants to do open gyms basically every Sunday. Um, and asked we talked about how many hoops she has, right? It's all these little details. If at some point in the future you're going to charge, is it free for now just to drum up the business? Do you have
Right,
extra help so you can split the gym into the different age groups, right? So like maybe you would do third through fifth on one side and sixth through eighth on the other side.
right,
So she just wants to do girls to start, right? Just to focus. She wants to do those age groups, third through eight. Um, and I just told her it's going to be a, lot of passion, a lot of, just week after week being okay that you have one person for an hour and a half, right? And we talked about, well, how long should each session be? And I said, the way I would look at it is start with an hour, max hour and a half, and you can always, if you can increase it, add another session as needed. But you don't want to be in there and for 2 hours with one kid,
right.
right?
I know.
So
I agree. Before we go any farther, give a shout out to our other sponsor.
our
Sponsor,
sponsor, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, coaches, if you have a sports organization, if you own a gym, run a tournament, have a team, go check out sponsorly.com. Sorry, let me scratch that. Sponsorly.team. Sponsorly.team it is. All right, so sponsorly.team. We it is one of our new brands that we just launched to help fund youth sports. So it's again sponsorly.team. If you're a brand looking to reach the youth sports audience, here's a fun fact for you, Steve. Speaking of the youth sports audience, I know you're not going to be shocked. They mo if you're involved in a sport, your child's involved in a sport, 10 plus hours a week, more you spend more time with that sport than you do at the dinner table
100%
as a
agree with
family.
that. Oh yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and so that's why that's why for brands, it
It's like
makes a lot of sense to invest. And if you think about tournaments, they're spending 3 or 4 hours per day in a gym. Now, if you see a banner of your brand in there, that's a lot of brand impressions
right.
versus a social media ad that you might
Yeah.
just scroll by. So go check it out, coaches. Sponsorly.team.
You
That's
know,
LY at the end dot team.
okay. We'll put that in the show notes too for people that
Hmm.
need it. Um, did you talk about the hook or the fun or the how
Yeah.
you get them? I mean, that's what I remember from it's been a while since I had to build a
Yeah.
program from that level. Um, but you're always competing against other things, video
Other things.
games,
Right.
fishing,
Right.
other
Right.
sports,
Yeah. Family time, of
depending they
course,
get
right?
older,
Yeah.
the opposite side,
Yeah.
whatever. It's like you're dealing with
Yeah.
other things. So how do you, how do you hate to use the word, but how do you addict them? Like my point guard that just graduated and has been with me for 4 years, he's addicted to basketball. Like I think he might be addicted. Like that's how much he loves it.
Yeah.
So I'm a little worried that it's going to stop and what's going to happen. But how do you hook them?
Mhm.
Like how do you get them to want it so badly?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, we did talk about it. I said you have to make it fun. Think about and keep the kids coming back. Think about creating a shooting club, right? Or something, or an attendance record, right? And give them, have prizes. The other thing I told her too is think about she wants to do this year round. I said, think about it in seasons. We're in season one, and what you obviously can make up the length of every season, right? You could do it by quarter, maybe with a little break, or maybe not. But thinking about it in chunks because there's a start and a stop, and then you can um, move kids up levels. You can gamify the whole concept. That way the kids keep on coming back. And then, hey, over the next season, if you're the number one, if you got the most shots up, you're going to get a t-shirt or you're going to get some candy or whatever it might be, right? We talked about red dot. If you don't know what red dot is, go back into our shows, do a little research on
Did
that.
we do a whole
Um,
episode on Red Dot?
we did.
We
Yeah.
did. Okay. Okay. So
Yeah.
then Google, you can put it up in the wherever you're looking, you can put it up, especially if
Yeah.
you're
Red
on
dot basketball or
Spotify or
something. Yeah.
Apple or yeah, you can type it in. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, we talked about like just making it fun, making it not just, oh, this is just one basketball um day at the day with the basketball. No, this is a season and we want you we need to come up with mechanisms to keep the kids coming back week after week. And if you're making it fun over time, the basketball community will grow from there. And then you can expand, right? Maybe then you add boys once you get the girls program started and creating a model and
Right.
duplicating it.
And yeah, and then it's hiring people and figuring out how you can
That's
keep
right.
it going. And the I tell people too is like when you're building something like this, the ideal is to be able to walk away.
Mm, yeah.
Like that's I mean, that was my long term. When I look back on my sheet of paper initially starting the youth program, it's like this thing's got to run without me.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
and it will now when I leave eventually, it's going to be fine. But it's a
Hmm.
well-oiled machine at this point.
Yeah.
Things are set up, and here's how we do this, and here's how this works, and here's how that works, and um, so I think that's one of the kickers is like how do you set up that you know um that manual so it keeps going too.
Right. Right. Yeah.
For if she's thinking building it in the community, you want it to be, well, this community is a basketball community, and then here's what they do, and here's how they do it. Um, you want to build those things you want to think about them at the front end. It's a lot easier than trying to build the plane while you're flying.
Yeah. The one thing we didn't talk about was, connect with the high school coaches, right? See what they want, see what they're looking for, see if they can get involved, see if they can come and speak to the players, right? Make it special. See if you can get some of the high school basketball players to help you, right? Or even take like some of your older girls to work with the younger girls, or as you move kids through your program, that they come back and contribute to the program, right? And that's how you really truly build a fun basketball community, in my
I,
opinion, right? Getting
I
the
agree.
kids to come back and teach and working with the local high schools and, doing anything you can to get the publicity for the program.
Right.
And then it's just consistency. And I said most of it's going to be on you. You have to be right? You have to be a good coach, right?
You
You got
do.
to know what you're doing
You
at
got to
the end
know
of the
the
day,
X's.
right?
And that's where coaching youth
Yeah.
hoops will help you.
Yeah, she's already using Coaching Youth Hoops. So
There
yeah,
we go. She already knows.
coachingyouthhoops.com. If
All
you're
right.
not,
Yeah. Anything else, coach?
no, coaches, I guess just the last word is go to gc.com/ coaching
Youth
youth
hoops.
hoops. Go check out that app. It'll save you a ton of time. Uh, Either if you're looking to do stats or have live game footage so parents who can't come to the games, they can see it live, gc.com/ coaching youth hoops.
All right. See you later. Bye.
Yep.